Good evening, everybody. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Fairyland. It's just gone 19:30 hours, 7:30 p.m. It's Wednesday night, so we're in for another VK4BAD net. I'll now change my call sign to the club call of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net. So far I've got VK4FAX Don and VK4 HOO Andy. It is currently outside 15.6 degrees. We're looking at going down to around about 2 degrees tonight. 0 wind speed and 44% humidity. That is outside temperature at the present. Okay, this is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Now listening for any call-ins. Go ahead.
A very good evening, Gary. This is VK4 Echo Mike.
VK4 Echo Mike. VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo Alpha Delta. Is there anyone else who wants to call in to the VK4BAD BadNet? VK4BAD listening? Okay, it's going to be a short one at the moment. Never know. We might find others. Okay, I'll give you a bit of a rundown at the present time. The Marley dropped off the new 2 metre rig, which is earmarked for the Echo Link. I'm just putting all the Echo Link stuff in onto a tablet, and I'm not too sure as yet when it will all go up, but it is on the way. I'll give you a bit more info as it gets a bit closer. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net. Does anyone else want to call in? VK4BAD? Okay, as I said, it's going to be might be a quick one tonight. Never know. Okay, VK4 Fox Alpha X-Ray, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Over to you there, Don.
VK4BAD with the group, VK4FAX. Good evening there, Gary, and thanks for running the show. Andy and Merv being there. Yeah, a bit quiet this evening. It was a little quiet last night when I started the New Horizons, but it ended up around the dozen mark eventually. And there was only myself and Kurt, locals. They're all from over the eastern side of the country. Anyway, we went 50 minutes or so, so we had a good night. Yeah, not a lot to report from that. What's his name? Was out at Jandowie last there, Gary, that called in. I'm just trying to flip the page here to get his name. Graham, CEG. Yeah, he's back at the Logan Village, and he called in last night. And he said he'll be back up Jandowie way. I think he said next week or the week after, so he's looking forward to catching up with us then. Went to Dolby to Oakey today, bowling. I'll just break for a tick. Yeah, had a couple of wins. You play 14 ends, I think it is, and then winners play winners in the second game, and we won both games, but we come home with nothing. We got beaten on account back for running second by one shot, and then the team we beat in the first game had a big win in the second game and walked away with mid-trays. So it was a little bit disappointing after a really hard day of bowls, and we played really well. We won, against Andy will probably know the team. They were a Drayton team, and won the fours we beat them by 4, I think it was, and then we beat this other top team that had won by 17 in the first game. We beat them by 6 or something. Anyway, we came home with couldn't even win a raffle, so it wasn't our day. VK4HAA with the group. Hope your day went a little bit better, Andy. VK4FAX.
And thanks, Don. Merv, good evening to you, my friend. Quiet day. I went down and had a bit of a roll-up at Drayton, and it was sort of cool there. So I came home and potted around for a bit of a while here, and then went up to our one here in the village and had a bit of a roll up there, and I didn't do too bad there. So just practice. I don't know if it's working, but I'll keep on doing it. Tomorrow I've got an interesting service down in Laidley. The chappie that I'm putting to rest, he was a horseman, and I will be led in by his horse to the cemetery. He will have his saddle on, and then once he gets down to the graveside, the saddle comes off. So I'm looking forward to it. It will, it's. I've had sort of a few animal ones. I had a few months back. The Air Force, they had 6 of their Air Force dogs there, and that was a guard of honour. That one was great as well. Get a few like that, just sort of, I guess, puts a bit of a tear to your eye, just how well respected these particular people are. So, looking forward to that one. I'll just be here for this one, Gary, if you can excuse me. It's not real warm where I'm sitting tonight, so but I thought, no, I'll come and say good day. And Don, I don't think I'm working Friday at this stage. I don't think there's anything assigned to me, so see how I go to have a roll-up on Friday. I'll keep in touch. Move over to you, brother. VK4 Echo Mike, VK4HAA.
VK4HAA with the group, VK4 Echo Mike. Good evening to you, fellas. Good to hear you. Yeah, I rolled past the Drayton one yesterday a couple of times, and there wasn't any traffic there, so I slowed right down for a sticky beat. It was fairly windy, though. I was trying to see if I could pick out if Don was there, rolling stuff backwards and forwards. But anyway, I couldn't. If you were there, I couldn't pick you out anyway. All right. Yeah, about the same going on here with the temperature, fellas. Very, very, very cool in the mornings. And it lasts a fair while, up around to the 10 o'clock mark before, you can really venture outside. So yeah, I haven't been doing too much either. Mainly staying inside, and I've done a few things outside. I did mow the grass there one day and that sort of bizzo. Not that there's much grass to mow. I just more or less knocked the seed off all the cooch that was sticking up in the air. Get that seed on the ground, and hopefully one of these days we might get some rain. Keep our fingers crossed anyhow. It's got to come one of these days, hasn't it? It's been so long here now without any rain. It's absolutely amazing. All right. Yeah, I agree. A bit cool to be in this end of the house. This office here is the coldest in the house and the hottest. But cold. Cold. You don't want it to be cold. Okay, back up to you, Gary. VK4BAD with the group VK4GRB, Mike.
VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before we continue on, is there anyone else want to join the net? VK4BAD listening? Okay, looks like it's going to be only a very, very quiet one. Yeah, as I said, the new 2 meter radio came yesterday. I'm a day ahead of myself. Yesterday, and as I said, I'm just putting up. Putting the tablet, which is assigned for the Echo Link, to operate it. So I'm just waiting on a couple of other bits and pieces, and I'll put it up in the link shed with the other two. And then I'll get them all up and running. Hi. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Does anyone else want to join in before we start the second round? VK4BAD? Ah, yes, I just remembered. There's that crazy maroon-coloured thing and a blue-coloured thing happening tonight, isn't it? Ah, yeah, okay. Just dawned on me. Why it's not too many on? Also, before I start off on the next round, we've had some good ducting in the last couple of days. Up until about 11 o'clock today, we had I had 146 975, and then Black Mountain. I had what else that came in? The Gladstone repeater came in. Tried RDD, but it wasn't showing me any signs of life. So that one wasn't in. So it was all mainly what was in the east of me and north of me. There. Okay, before we start the second round, does anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? VK4BAD? Okay, with that lot there, we'll start off on the last round. As I said, it's going to be a quick one tonight by the looks of it. Okay, we're missing Andy, so VK4 FAX. Over to you there, Don. VK4 BAD, and you hand it over to Merv.
VK4BAD, VK4FAX. Yeah, I didn't think Andy was going, but anyway, I must have missed that. Yeah, good stuff there with that new 2-metre radio, and getting Echo Link getting going there shortly, which will be probably make this net a lot more attended if they can get in on the Echo Link. Yeah, I had a couple on Echo Link last night from down the coast as well. So yeah, it's got its advantages for those who just can't get into those other frequencies, being that just that little bit away. So it's great stuff. Yeah, Andy, if you're still there, mate, Friday's 3-bowl pairs. I normally play with Ken, but he's not available. He's got to go pick grandchildren up. I just put my name down as a spare, so just thinking if you're just up that way going past, just duck in there and put your name on the sheet, and we'll see what happens, I suppose. The footy game's on. Gary, I realise it's on. I don't go mad and sit in front of it. I generally just go off to bed and put the radio on and have a bit of a listen in and see how it goes. If I goes off to sleep, I wake up and hear what happens later on. I'll just break for a tick. The cricket last night, I was listening to it, and I crashed and I woke up and it'd been raining, so nothing was happening. So I went back to sleep again, and then I woke up and it kept me awake for 3 or 4 hours, I suppose. I'm a bit tuckered out tonight, so I'm looking to get my head on the pillow fairly early, and at least the football will be over by 10:30 or something, and I'll have uninterrupted sleep from there on. Nothing much else to report. It's been a bit chilly of a morning, but the days are really pleasant. It was about 20-odd degrees out there at Oakey today, even though they had I think it was a 0 or 1 degree there this morning. But it was quite warm out there in the sun during the afternoon. They had a nor'easterly breeze came in initially there this morning, which was a bit different, and that's why I think it warmed up pretty quick. Anyway, I'll put it over there to Merv, but if you're still around there, Andy, well, we'll listen. I sort of didn't have much to comment on what Merv said there. Some of those photos you sent Merv recently, pretty good stuff. What's his name? Warren sent me a photo of all his keys in the cabinet. My God, hadn't he got some? I didn't realise he had so many. Anyway, VK4EM with the group VK4FAX.
Yeah, roger that, Don. VK4FAX in the group. VK4 Mike returning for the final. Yes, he certainly got a collection, and some of the stuff is very interesting. He put out some photos there a while ago. You've probably seen those. And he wanted to know what the device was and how it worked and, you know, what it was supposed to do. So I put out a call, and Theo was able to tell him what it was all about. So that was interesting. Get it all sorted. Here he's got quite a collection, and he's looking for more all the time. Okay. Very good evening to you, Kurt. You're listening in the background there on your handheld. And I didn't hear you today putting out a weather report. I missed it. Not that I was doing too much, but I just must have been not quite here when you put out the weather report. During the day, Kurt puts out a weather report and on and off. And Denise is usually sewing in the next room here and enjoys hearing Kurt give his weather report. All right, I'm going to say good evening, and the football. No, I'm not a follower of any of that sort of sport. This afternoon, Jeff down there in the valley, he was getting all face painted and all that sort of stuff, and banners and beer and chips and all that sort of stuff, all getting all ready. And a siren or something in case his team wins, he could blast the siren, and it's all happening. I've never been interested, never been involved. Although my dad used to take me to the football in Toowoomba way back when golden top pies were $1, even with your selected sauce on, it was still $1. Unbelievable. What are they now? About 8. Inflation. VK4BAD. Thanks for the net tonight, Gary. Enjoyed being here and listening to your stories. VK4 Echo Mike 73s.
VK4 Echo Mike, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before we shut down the net for tonight, does anyone else want to come in and say hello, goodbye before we shut the net down? VK4BAD? Okay, nothing heard. Okay, as I said, it'll be a slightly shorter net tonight. Can understand because we've got the State of Origin match in Brisbane being played between New South Wales and Queensland. And at the moment there, Queensland is 1-0. This will be the second game out of 3. Oh, talking about that, for the Poms. Okay, I see that you guys are doing very well. What's the score now at the moment? What I understand, it is 1-0 in the Ashes. Oh, well. The Barmy Army needs to do some Barmy Army and hi. Okay, with that lot there. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta. Just listening to see if anyone else wants to come in before we close the net off. VK4BAD. Okay, nothing heard. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. I'd like to thank VK4FAX Don, VK4HOO Andy, VK4 Echo Mike Merv, and VK4KRS who's listening up in Toowoomba, Kirk. This is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. We hold this net every Friday. Get the days of the week right. every Wednesday evening at 7:30 local time, 19:30 hours. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. I'll now resume back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo Gary in Fairyland. And I'll now leave the frequency open for general traffic. Until the same time next week, when I put the net on, this is VK4 Bravo Golf Romeo Bravo 7-3. Catch us all next week.
Thanks, Gary. Go Queensland.